Day, the Commission of Health Services, National Health Laboratory and Diagnostic Services, which is a department in the Ministry of Health, evolving from a unit that was initially under the National Disease Control. One is to oversee, coordinate, and offer stewardship of all laboratory services across the country. Under the coordination and stewardship, our responsibility as the department to come up with policies and guidelines that guide the laboratory sector across the country, coming up with capacity building programs and building capacity across the laboratory network.
I am Dr. Isaac Sowanyana. I'm a specialist in infectious and tropical diseases with a PhD from London School of Hygiene and Tropical Medicine. The Uganda National Health Laboratory Services laboratory has two functions. One, the coordination, leadership and the coordination of lab services across the country and providing reference services for those specialized laboratory services that we provide from here. So the services that provided here that we use this high technology include those early infant diagnosis for HIV viral load, hepatitis, including COVID.
Our laboratory network across the country is in a tiered fashion manner, beginning from the lowest health level of laboratory services, that Health Center 3, up to mechanisms that we do. One of them is our National Sample Transportation Network. You have all heard about the National Sample Transportation Network, which is a network that transports samples from all those different health laboratories I've talked about, right from the lowest Health Center 3 to the national level or to the next level of care in case that test is not done at the lowest health center. Coordinating the different transportation network, the cars that move samples from these hubs to the center, but also the coordination is from those motorcycles that move samples from the lowest health centers to the hubs. This is the system that we are using. It is supported by government. We thank the government. At the same time, it's also supported by partners who we thank a lot that they supported us.
Thank you. And also the programming aspect. Alongside our other partners, I would like to welcome the Deputy Country Director of USAID, you're welcome, sir. Thank you so much for coming, and we thank you alongside CDC for the huge investment you are putting in the health sector and also other sectors of this country. I would like to recognize the staff of Kyambogo University as we wait for the Vice Chancellor, who have been critical partners in the actual training, and we have also agreed to move forward into mainstreaming these trainings. Staff of Kyambogo University, can you please stand up for recognition? We appreciate and we are very proud that this partnership is yielding international results. Thank you so much. I am reliably informed that the representative of the Vice Chancellor is already here, Professor Justus. Can you please let us know where you are seated? You are welcome, sir. Thank you so much. We are proud of this initiative and of the university's contribution. Ladies and gentlemen, I would like to request the police band to give us 1 or 2 as we network. I would be very happy if at the end of the function you have shared some new contacts and you have gotten at least 1 or 2 new people. It is good to sit with those you came with, especially for protocol and recognition purposes, but during the mingling time, it would be important to cross over the bridges and close the gaps, and so we get to know each other very well. Thank you so much, Police Band.
Thank you very much, Police Band. Asante sana, merci beaucoup. Ladies and gentlemen, I wish to recognize the presence of the Director Public Health, Dr. Daniel Chabainze. You're welcome, Director. I think the Police Band, you could carry on as we wait for our chief guest, the Minister of Health. Thank you. A round of applause to the police band. Thank you very much. I wish to take this opportunity to welcome the South African High Commissioner, Your Excellency Mary Rumara. Thank you. And also to clarify, earlier introduced was Dr. Saum Dejean, the Senior Technical Advisor, USAID Health Office. You're welcome. Invited guests, ladies and gentlemen, you're welcome to the Ministry of Health once again for this special East Africa, Eastern, Central, Southern Africa Health Community Peer-to-Peer Lab Training, which is a close-out ceremony as we celebrate the teams that have been part of this training, who are our special guests today. We will be starting in a few minutes. The Minister of Health is almost here, had an earlier engagement, so kindly be patient with us. DJ, you can give us some music. Thank you.
Toddy, what shall we do? Sinzinjan,
What shall we do?
Toddy, what shall we do? Sinzinjan,
What shall we do?
oh, Toddy, what shall we do? Sinzinjan,
What shall we do?
zvinarwadza sei kurera rufumu maoko zvinorwadza sei kuchengeta rufumu maoko vazvababata pambo riri pasina raramo vazvapatumbuka pambo riri pasina raramo Toddy, what shall we do? Sinzinjan,
What shall we do?
oh, Toddy, what shall we do?
What shall we do?
wanewa ugere naye. Zvinorwadza sei kubhinywa neakabvisa pfuma. Achiziva unawo utachiwana. Ende uchiziva unawo utachiwana. Oh, Tony, what shall we do? Sinzija. Oh, Tony, what shall we do? Sinzija. Yeah, Tony, what shall we do? Sinzija. Seri kwekuva hakuna muna matovarume tapererwa. Tondipai mazano. Seri kwekuva hakuna muteuro mambo tapererwa. Tondipai mazano. Seri kwekuva hakuna muteuro mambo tapererwa. Tondipai mazano. Seri kwekuva hakuna muna matovarume tapererwa. Tondipai mazano. Seri kwekuva hakuna muteuro mambo tapererwa. Tondipai mazano. Ah, Tony, what shall we do? Sinzija.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much. Ladies and gentlemen, we are getting to the beginning of the formal function, which will take us up to 1 o'clock. And I would like to inform you reliably that our chief guest will be here in a couple of minutes. In the meantime, we would like to welcome all of you, distinguished guests. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for turning up for this very important function. We want to thank you for taking time from your other very important schedules to join us. We would like to recognize the Uganda National Accreditation Services, UGANAS, if the representative is here. Oh, thank you so much. We thank you for the work you are doing in trying to improve the sector in terms of quality assurance and certification. Thank you for coming. We would like to recognize the presence of our trainers, but this I think will have another mention, Chambogo Universe and all the other trainers when the minister is here. We would like to recognize the trainees, and the trainees are in 2 different cohorts. The ones who are graduating today, and the ones who started off a few days ago, whom we are launching today. You can distinguish the difference from the smiles. Then you will know which cohort is graduating and which one is starting. If that confuses you, I will be at hand to help you out. Ladies and gentlemen, I request we rise and welcome our chief guest, Madam the Honorable Minister of Health of the Republic of Uganda. Please rise, police band. Madam, you are welcome. Thank you so much for joining us, police band. Can we start with...
Obande. Light checho. Light.
Thank you so much for this band. As we remain standing, may I invite His Eminence, the Deputy Mufti of Uganda, Sheikh Muhammad Ali Waiswa, and Your Lordship, the Bishop Gogo, to come over here and lead us in prayers. Your Eminence.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. We seek refuge from the cursed devil in the power of Allah. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. In the name of the mighty God, the compassionate, the merciful. Praise be to thee, the cherisher and sustainer of the worlds. We thank you, Lord, for the gift of life. We thank you for the promotion to save life. You indeed said in the Holy Quran, chapter 5, verse 32, that whoever saves life, it is as if he has saved all mankind. And you also instructed in chapter 2, verse 195, that you وَلَا تُلْقُوا بِأَيْدِيكُمْ إِلَى تَهْلُكَةٍ, that do not be a cause to your death or destruction. We therefore thank you, Lord, for having made us a day today that we celebrate completion of a program of training to enhance the capacity of saving life, and to begin and yet to begin another one. We thank you, Lord, for all those that have been there for this program, especially the technical manpower, the donors, the partners, and the ministry. We pray, Lord, that you continue to guide the trainees to be able to execute whatever that they have gained through the program in an amicable manner. We pray, Lord, that you continue to prevail peace in our countries so that death does not become an order of the day. We pray for the leadership in all these countries so that, God, you continue to guide them and be able to achieve the necessary that all these countries desire. We thank you, Lord, for this opportunity, and we pray that you continue to guide us forever and forever. Amen.
We continue in prayer. God, you have instituted that countries will be set free from sickness, outbreaks. And you gave us the word in Psalms 107, and you said, we give thanks to your God because you are good to us. You always have mercy upon us. And you commanded us that let all those whom he has redeemed, or whom you have redeemed, proclaim that he redeemed them, and he will continue to give them the power to destroy all those outbreaks. Heavenly Father, in the mighty name of Jesus Christ, we lift these countries in your presence. We lift them because they need your mercy. And thank you, Lord, that you have chosen a few from different countries, including Uganda, that they are redeemed so that they become redeemers over other people. Lord, we want to thank you for His Excellency, the President of Uganda, who has given us great ladies and who has given us a great minister and great men who are working closely with him, that the outbreaks in these countries, in this country, Uganda, we have defeated them, and they will be defeated in other countries. Thank you for the life of Dr. the Honorable Minister, and thank you for the great effort she has put in the fighting, more especially Ebola and COVID-19. We have been redeemed, and we have been redeemed by her knowledge and understanding. May you continue to bless those who are working under him, under her, and under His Excellency, the President of Uganda, that peace and love will continue to be in this country. Bless this occasion, oh Father, that as these people leave Uganda to go and others come to train, you bless them mightily, oh Father. Let's hear and get echoes that their countries are doing very well because you are the divine power and authority. In Jesus' name, we continue to thank you for the funders. Thank you, Lord, for the funders. Without them, we would not be this far. So bless the funders. Let them continue to have that kindness, and bless them mightily. In Jesus' name I've prayed. Amen. Amen. Thank you.
Thank you so much. I think when we decided to clap, it will be a very great clap. Madam Guest of Honor, ladies and gentlemen, we may now take our seats. We are here for a celebration of the successes that have been registered by our nation, our ministry, our government, the lab sector, and so we should be happy. We should be happy. We should be able to put on a smile, especially now that our chief guest is here. Madam Chief Guest, we welcome you so much. Thank you for coming to this function. We would also like to welcome our dear Permanent Secretary, Minister of Health. Doctor, you are welcome. Thank you for coming and hosting us. Madam Chief Guest, within our midst, we have excellencies, the ambassadors and high commissioners, and I would like for now to mention that the ambassador of South Sudan is here, Your Excellency from South Sudan. The ambassador from the Republic of Kenya, Your Excellency, the High Commissioner from Kenya, the High Commissioner from the Republic of South Africa. You are welcome, Madam. We have a representative of the Embassy of Somalia. You are welcome. Madam, we have His Eminence, the Deputy Mufti of Uganda, seated behind you, and Your Lordship, Bishop Gogo, seated behind you. I am also happy to note that we have all our distinguished partners who have been supporting the ministry, but also supporting the lab sector within our midst, and this will be detailed by the person you have allowed to host us here, the Commissioner for the lab sector, Dr. Navada will be able to introduce our partners in a special way. But for now, I would like to make mention that all our partners are here. I should also mention, Madam, that this function is online because we also have partners who are joining us online. We have remarks from the Global Fund. Dr. Fatima will be online. She's already on. She has sent greetings and she will be speaking to us. We also have Dr. Andrew Sulmesa from the Ecsa who will be speaking to us from Addis Ababa. I would like to inform you, Madam, that we have senior staff from the Ministry of Health, from the director himself, who is seated on your right. But we also have senior staff, including commissioners, assistant commissioners, and all the senior staff of the ministry, whom I would request to stand up for recognition for now. I would like to request the protocol team to ensure that the person who has been allowed to host us on behalf of the PS sits in the right place, Dr. Susan Navada, before I invite her to welcome us, because for now she has disappeared somewhere else. So kindly move her to the right place in line with the protocol procedures of this country. Madam Minister, I would like to inform you that the team of trainers who have been doing this work are here with us. Our partners, Chambogo University, led by the representative of the Vice Chancellor and the staff. May you please stand up for recognition. We also have trainers from in-house, those from the NHLDS, who are here with us, and that team will be introduced to you shortly. Madam Chief Guest, the trainees, the people you are commissioning today, are here with us, but they have also been accompanied by the people you will be commissioning to start. So it is a two-phase way. We are seeing of people who are graduating, who have been in the country, but we also have a team that joined a few days ago to start on the training. So I would like to request all the trainees who are graduating today to stand up for recognition. Emmanuel, I think you can do the French thing so that. Thank you so much. Madam, this team includes people from the French-speaking countries, but also from the Portuguese-speaking countries. So I have here my senior colleague with whom I am working, Emmanuel Inabiona, the senior spokesperson of this ministry, who knows more French than myself. But we are both of us struggling to get the Portuguese aspect. Please get seated. Thank you so much. We also have the team that is starting the training. Can you please stand up for recognition? Thank you so much for coming. Please take your seats. Madam Minister, we have esteemed guests. We will be introducing them as we get started. We once again welcome you to this function. We thank you for taking time from your busy schedule to be here with us. We once again welcome Dr. Diana, who is our distinguished PS to the function. Thank you so much for coming and for accepting Dr. Susan Navada to be able to host this international event here. It is now my singular honor and privilege to invite our host, who is none other than Dr. Susan Navada, who is the Commissioner for Lab Services and also Director of the National Health Laboratory and Diagnostic Services, and also the Chief Government Pathologist of this country, to come and welcome us to the function. Please give her a big round of applause.
Thank you so much, MC. Our dear Chief Guest, the Honorable Minister of Health, our dear PS, Ministry of Health, Your Excellencies, the ambassadors and the high commissioners that are here, the Director General of Ecsa and your representatives online, the Director General of Ministry of Health, the Dr. Fatim Cham from Global Fund in Geneva, the representative from WHO, our dear CDC country director, the representative from USAID, the representatives from ASLM and Africa CDC, our Vice Chancellor from Chambogo University, our religious leaders that have led us in prayer today, our dear directors, commissioners, and senior Ministry of Health officials present here, our directors from the national and regional reference laboratories that are here with us, directors from our national research and academic labs, UVRI, Mbarara, Makerere, our regional and district laboratory focal teams, our dear participants from the different African countries, the religious leaders present, and all distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. I want to warmly welcome you to this function, and I consider it an honor to have this event hosted at the Ministry of Health. Thank you so much, Honorable Minister, and thank you so much, PS, for giving the lab a chance to come and host this international event here. And thank you all so much for making time for us as lab. We feel proud. Can we clap, lab team? Our chief guest, with support from Global Fund, through Ecsa and ASLM, Uganda was selected to carry out a country peer-to-peer training using your department, the National Health Laboratory Department and Diagnostic Services Department. And Honorable Minister, the current training is focusing on equipment maintenance and external quality assurance for panel production. In March and April, Honorable Minister, the Permanent Secretary launched the first training of the first 14 participants. There were only 14 then, from just 7 countries. And this was mainly focusing on integrated sample transportation. We are now holding the second training, and this has attracted 36 participants, as you've seen them, from 14 countries whom we are seeing off today. But the third training is also starting, and those are the new participants that have joined. Honorable Minister, the countries include Zimbabwe, Tanzania, Zambia, Ethiopia, Uganda, Cameroon, Mali, Nigeria, Mozambique, Malawi, Kenya, South Africa, Rwanda, and Sierra Leone. That's how wide, Honorable Minister, your ministry has gone. As the Department of National Health Lab Services, we are directly under the Directorate of Public Health. And we have 2 major mandates, and one of them is to offer stewardship and coordination laboratory systems in Uganda. And Honorable Minister, now we see that you need to add us and beyond. And also to offer specialized reference testing services. And in this, we offer them through our different reference testing laboratories that include the Central Public Health Lab, the National TB Reference Lab that acts as the supranational reference lab for TB that oversees and gives capacity building to the 23 countries that are here. At the same time, we have the National Microbiology Reference Lab and the National Equipment Calibration Center. That is the main focus today to celebrate, together with the National Equipment and National External Quality Assurance Laboratory. As our vision for the lab, we really want to offer quality laboratory services available and accessible to all people. And we can only do this if we build strong laboratory systems that center around that test, that include proper equipment maintenance and good quality services that include doing both external quality assurance panels at the same time the internal quality assurance panels. Honorable Minister, with your support from Government of Uganda and our dear development partners like CDC, Global Fund, WHO, and others, Uganda has built a very resilient laboratory capacity to detect public health emergencies. And some of our laboratories that do this at the reference level include the Central Public Health Laboratories, the Central Emergency and Surveillance Laboratory, the National TB Reference Lab, Uganda Virus Research Institute, National Microbiology Reference Lab. We also have built capacity in our national and regional referral labs to handle these public health occurrences. As you remember, they tested for COVID. We are also leveraging on laboratories in academia and research institutions. This is all because of your leadership and support from the Government of Uganda and our dear development partners. 3 years ago, you launched our National Health Laboratory Strategic Plan, 2021 to 2025. And our current strategy in this ongoing strategic plan was to address the increasing demand and complexity of delivering lab services routinely and during emergencies. For example, the recent COVID-19 pandemic, Ebola, and Honorable Minister, right now, the laboratories are handling monkeypox. So this strategic plan for this current year was focusing on strengthening laboratory capacity to be able to manage emergencies with broad thematic areas that include coordination of all the public health laboratories carrying out lab testing and surveillance activities, both nationally and subnationally. Also to continue building competence and skill sets in our human resource nationally, but as we see today, we are also doing it for the region. And working together with the regulatory bodies to support the licensing and regulating labs such that they have the right staff, proper quality assurance, proper biosafety, and proper infrastructure, as Honorable we did and you guided in the COVID pandemic. So today, Madam Chief Guests, Your Excellencies and distinguished guests, we are here to celebrate our trainees and their respective countries for investing in the laboratory human resource. This is a very good big game changer for improving the delivery of health services across the continent, especially for our lab systems. So Honorable Ministers, we're here to celebrate our government, our ministry, and our teams at NHLDS CPHL for becoming a regional center of excellence that can ably facilitate training both nationally and internationally. And at this juncture, Honorable Minister, allow me to request the staff I work with at the department to stand up for recognition. Honorable Minister, this is the team that is showcasing today and has made the lab sector what it is. Thank you so much, team. And because of this, we have built capacity at the department. First of all, we have a national calibration and equipment center that is internationally accredited, and it has put us at an international level, Honorable, and that's why regional bodies like ASLM, Africa CDC, Global Fund, Ecsa are coming to Uganda to have trainees from the different countries. Also, this calibration center is the only out of the 3 that we have in Africa, that is in Kenya and Nigeria, we have only 3 public calibration center in the ministries of health. But for Uganda, it's one of the biggest public calibration laboratory with the biggest accredited scopes. We are at 7. Majority at 3, for example, Nigeria, and Kenya is at 5. So we are proud of that, and thank you so much, top leadership, for your guidance and support. We have the highest number of the trained biosafety cabinet certified engineers, because we want to use quality people who are competent, and you need to be certified. So we have certified engineers, and we are the only country in Africa with accredited equipment maintenance training curriculum. And that is why Africa CDC ASLM is benchmarking. Honorable Minister and PS, this is all because of your support and leadership. Thank you so much. And besides the capacity on equipment maintenance, in the quality management systems, we've made a big progress. 10 years ago, we only had 7 laboratories accredited. Today, as we speak, we have 80 laboratories, both in public and in private, but also in research institutions and academia. But above all, Honorable Minister, our department is accredited to ISO 9001 to improve our management processes. Also, the Ministry of Health is partnering with the Ministry of Trade, Industry and Cooperatives to fast-track the implementation of the Act on Uganas. Honorable Minister, we want to have our own accreditation body such that we can be able to accredit our labs and accredit more, because of the resources that are needed to accredit. One lab just needs 15,000, and we have over 3,000 labs in Uganda. So with support from partners, from government of Uganda, we've secured funds to be able to have our own international national accreditation body that will be called Uganas, and we are fast tracking it, and we promise by 2025 we shall be up and running. The other latest milestone, Honorable Minister, is the production of the first malaria RDT proficiency test panels in the region. Honorable Minister, RDTs for malaria are used widely up to the community, but we've not been having checks, quality checks for them. With support from the partners and government of Uganda, we've been able to pilot, and currently we have an accredited scope for malaria RDTs that we have already enrolled to our facilities. Honorable, we first do for our country before we go out. So we've done it for our countries, and now the teams have come to learn on how to do this, such that they can go back and also do that. At the time of COVID, Honorable, NTRL, through the Supranational Reference Lab, pioneered the proficiency panel testing for COVID-19, both for RDTs and molecular testing, because this was a very big challenge. And this was not only used for Uganda, but it was distributed to 17 countries, and some of them are also here. But of recent, Honorable, our Quality Assurance Lab was accredited with an extension of scope up to 17 scopes of tests that we can and we are distributing nationally and internationally. Above all, why the training? As the department, we have a training curriculum that is accredited, because we don't want to just train and people go with certificates of attendance. We have an accredited training curriculum by ISET for the past 5 years. And this is not replacing training in institutions. It is supposed to help in adult learning through a catalytic and peer-to-peer approach. That's why we are here, Honorable. But we can't do it alone. We do it in working together with institutions, and that's why we have for equipment maintenance, we are working with Chambogo University. Chambogo, thank you so much for allowing to work with us. So, Honorable Ministers, the department, we remain committed to leading and collaborating with our regional and global partners to enhance the quality and effectiveness of lab services, ensuring that our lab systems are robust and resilient. I want to appreciate you, Honorable Minister, and the leadership of Ministry of Health for the logistical and technical guidance to the department, our development partners, Global Fund, CDC, Ecsa, SLM, WHO, for the support to the lab systems, and Ecsa, Global Fund, and SLM for funding this current ongoing training. We want to thank Chambogo University for being co-trainers with us, the staff of NHLDS for the teamwork and the competence, the trainees from across the country to allow to come from your countries to come and learn from us. But this doesn't mean we can't come over. We're on the way coming also to learn from you. And all stakeholders, the Ministry of Health community, the national and subnational health workers, for all the support towards improving the lab sector. So, Madam Chief Guest and distinguished partners, we are ready to take on more training at the national, African, and global levels. Thank you so much for the immense support. We look forward to working with you towards increasing quality of lab services that are resilient to serve the population in Uganda and Africa. Thank you so much for God and my country.
Thank you very much, Dr. Susan. Dr. Susan doubles as the head of Africa Directors on Laboratory. Honorable Minister, you will allow me to utilize some little French. Notre invité d'honneur, le ministère de la Santé en Ouganda. Je souhaite le bienvenue à tous les invités au ministère de la Santé, particulièrement les stagiaires diplômés des pays francophones. Bienvenue. Merci beaucoup. I wish to take this opportunity to invite remarks from the patron, Chambogo University. Thank you.
Thank you, MC. Our chief guest, the Minister of Health, the Permanent Secretary, our ambassadors here present, the Director General, Minister of Health, our representative, the Global Fund, the CDC Director, the Vice Chancellor, Chambogo University, represented by the Deputy Vice Chancellor, who actually happens to be my immediate supervisor at Chambogo University, the Commissioner, NHLDS, the religious leaders who are present here, our trainees and the trainers, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Okwonzi John, and I happen to be the patron of the biomedical engineers. I'm very excited and delighted to be here on behalf of the biomedical engineering students whom I represent as a patron. Our chief guest, before I make my remarks, I want to give you a brief history about the biomedical engineering education in Uganda. I want to say that the Ministry of Health is the mother of the biomedical engineering education in Uganda. This started way back in 2006, where the Ministry of Health approached Chambogo University for us to start a biomedical engineering training program. Since that time, we started a partnership to do capacity building together with Chambogo University. So Chambogo University here is not for any reason because we started that journey together. It did not come from Chambogo, but it came from here. So we are very proud about what was initiated from the ministry. We envisioned, together with you, that the equipment in the ministry can only be supported if we have trained biomedical engineers who do not look at themselves as engineers, but also look at themselves as health workers. So the idea was to train engineers who are health workers. That takes us ahead of what we do in the ordinary sense of engineering, because health workers are there by a calling. They just don't come to be in that profession. You are called to be in that place because you is to preserve life. So Chambogo University, together with the Ministry of Health, worked tirelessly together to develop a program, and it was a joint training program. So we launched this program together by 2011, where we started producing biomedical engineers. As I speak right now, we have over 300 biomedical engineering technicians produced under this arrangement. Chief guest, I want to give you, without really going so much, some of the outcomes of this partnership. We have been working together with the Ministry of Health and to support, as one of our key mandates, to do outreach activities. We've held jointly a number of outreach activities. We just don't go to the health facilities within the town. We tend to go to where the problems are, in the rural areas. We have visited 5 over the years, 5 health centers, regions: Lira, Soroti, Masaka, and Mbale, and Hoima. During this process of our visitation with our students who are trained at Chambogo University, for example, in August, this August, we visited 2 health facilities in Hoima and in Masindi. We took there 30 students and were able to repair 28 medical equipment, saving close around 100 million in terms of repairs. In Mbale, we visited 3 health facilities. This is in Bududa, Mulanda, and Keyeyi Health Center 3. There we took over 50 students. We were also able to repair and put to use and maintain 22 health equipment, saving you about 50 million. We also visited Masaka, and here we went to 3 health centers. That is Liantonde, Rakai, Kalangala. We took a total of about 60 students, and were able to repair and bring to use 72 medical equipment in those health facilities. Again, saving you a lot. And I was happy that the PS was able to acknowledge this, and we thank you very much for the support of doing this. So as Chambogo University, we have been very proud about the start and the partners between the Ministry of Health in really running the biomedical engineering program. We have an MOU, a running MOU with the Ministry of Health for that purpose. It started with biomedical engineering diploma programs. We have also started, as part of that MOU, a bachelor's degree program at Chambogo University. So the capacity building process is ongoing. Our chief guest, to add on to this, what you are seeing here today, where we are being partners, we also participated very well in the development of this curriculum. Chambogo University participated in building this curriculum, which is now highly accredited by WHO, and we're very proud about that. And here, we believe with this we are going to be building the professionals in this area who only don't have the knowledge but also the skills to be able to put this time laboratory equipment and other biomedical engineering equipment. So I do not want to say much, but I just wanted to highlight to you what as a biomedical engineer, mothered from here, how far we've gone and in this partnership. I don't know where my team are from Chambogo University who have been the trainers of this. They were seated somewhere here. Please come for recognition. Some of them are students. Some of them are the trainers that have been participating in these activities. So these are the young people, including students, who have been going out there by themselves with the partners, with the support from the university as an outreach. We don't ask money from you, but we go there to support and give you support. So I want to thank all of them very much. Thank you very much. And I also want to congratulate everyone who has participated in this training. I was with you as part of the trainer, and I wish you the best as you go and practice what you learned from this training. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Merci beaucoup à l'Université de Chambogo. Bravo. I wish to recognize the presence of the Director of Public Health, Dr. Daniel Chabainze. You're welcome. Mr. Ayusu Stephen, the past immediate Director, Central Public Health Laboratory. And also we have the protocol team from the Ministry of Foreign Affairs. We recognize your presence. And also the Uganda Police Band. Allow me invite remarks from the representative of the Vice Chancellor, Chambogo University. You're welcome.
Thank you, MC. Honorable Minister, the Chief Guest, Permanent Secretary, Minister of Health, representatives and ambassadors and high commissioners here, Director General, Minister of Health, Global Fund, County Director, CDC, ambassadors and high commissioners who are here, religious leaders, development partners, trainees who are graduating today, and all of you in your respective capacities, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Justus Kwetejeka, the Deputy Vice Chancellor of Finance and Administration, representing the Vice Chancellor. The Vice Chancellor, Professor Erika Tunguka, sends greetings and wishes us all the best. Honorable Minister and Chief Guest, I would like to really thank the Minister of Health who contacted us as Dr. Okonzi mentioned in his presentation. I really want to also thank Dr. Okonzi. I think you really need to stand up again and be recognized because you were the contact person then in 2006. And what you see here is because he did not let us down. He worked with Minister of Health, and these are the fruits, Honorable Minister. Chambogo University has been collaborating with the Minister of Health for a long time. And I really want to really thank you for that focus, especially on developing the laboratory sector. It is something for some of us who have been around that was not given the priority it really required then. But when I see our students with the collaboration from the Minister of Health go to the field, Honorable Minister would be taking many more students, but you know, the budget cuts and the like, and if you gave us a hand, for example, in carrying out outreach activities, especially during internship, we do it for other engineering courses, but it is expensive. It is very expensive. I wish we could have a hand and take many more students for the internship in these health facilities and save much more money because it is easier to facilitate the students than what we used to do previously of flying in people here to repair and maintain this equipment. I really also want to thank the commissioner for the developments I've had. Because some of you, when you hear about accreditation, you may think it is very cheap. Thank you, Minister, and thank you, government, for supporting that sector. I was, when I didn't see here ISO, because whenever I'm moving in these other countries, the ISO would be here. Because when I see ISO something, I know what it means. Because I've been in the lab for the last 30 years, so that's why I'm really very passionate about this. I wanted to see ISO here. And another, maybe something that has made me so happy and so grateful is developing our own. When we were watching the video, they are talking about Kenas, rather Senas. Kenya has Kenas, and now we are going to have UGAS. I think that's a very, very, very good achievement, and that shows you how this government is focused. Now we are having our own, as we shall not be spending a lot of money. I remember when you just want to make some few accreditations, it's very expensive. And for investing in, is it 7 or 17? I think that is really commendable. Thank you very much, Minister, for that focus. For the trainees, where Chambogo has been participating, we really want to make the laboratory profession really professional. Like we have the lawyers, like we have the accountants who go for these CPAs and those who go to road development center. I think this is a step in the right direction, Honorable Minister, to make the labs professional. And when you talk about accreditation and ISOs, we are talking about our results being reliable and being recognized internationally. And that's why World Health is here, CDC is here, because of that confidence in the reliability of the tests that we can carry out in our laboratories, Honorable Minister. Chambogo has diploma and bachelor's programs. So for those who are training, because I've been informed that there are those who have been in other professionals, but they come at training these professional courses. Those ones now can come for the diploma and the bachelor's. And for those who could be training in these professional courses, they can also come and train in the diplomas and the bachelor's. Ours is to support the initiatives of government because the government has immensely supported us. But if we are to have increase on the numbers, you know, when you are training these the engineers who maintain and repair equipment, usually they limit the numbers because of capacity. It's not, you cannot admit 100 because you cannot share an equipment with very many other people. It is sharing. Some of these trainings you really need to be one-on-one. So our prayer is that we have more investment in the training facilities so that we can admit more people we can train. I would like also to recognize the partners. For example, when this program was being started, I remember seeing some members from UK, from the National Health Service, coming to Chambogo to train our students, and they should also be recognized. And also the Dutch government really supported us in developing the program in Chambogo, obviously through the Ministry of Health. So wherever you go, in many of these health facilities, the name Chambogo is there. And the name Chambogo is there because we have partnered with you and we have supported the Ministry of Health sector. Honorable Minister, with those few remarks, I really want to thank you. And sometimes those who have read Oliver Twist, I don't need to. You know what it means. So, and we look forward to your continued support and knowledge, skills for service and for God and my country. Thank you.
Let's give another round of applause for the representative of the Vice Chancellor. Thank you so much for the partnership that has been enabled. Madam Minister, I would like to formally recognize in our midst the presence of the Excellencies, Ambassadors, and High Commissioners. And I will begin with the Dean of the African Ambassadors in Uganda, the High Commission of the Republic of South Africa. Thank you so much for coming. Madam, we have the representative of the Embassy of the Federal Republic, the Federal Democratic Republic of Ethiopia. Thank you so much for coming. Honorable Minister, we have the representative of the Embassy of the Federal Republic of Somalia. Thank you so much for coming. Madam Chief Guest, we have the representative of the Embassy of the Republic of Kenya. Thank you so much for coming. Honorable Minister, we have the representative of the High Commission of the United Republic of Tanzania. Thank you so much for joining us. Madam, we have the representative of the Embassy of the Republic of South Sudan. Thank you so much for joining us. We have the representative of the Embassy. We have the representative of the High Commission of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Thank you so much for coming. We have the representative of the Embassy of the Democratic Republic of Congo. Thank you so much for coming, Your Excellencies, Ambassadors, and High Commissioners, and your representatives. Madam Chief Guest, when the Vice Chancellor was talking, he mentioned the trainers, and as I mentioned earlier, we had two teams of trainers, but working in one unison. The trainers from Chambogo University. We also had trainers coming in from Kenya, two of them. May I request you to stand up? The trainers who came in from Kenya, if you are still around. Then we have our in-house, as the commissioner said, the capacity has expanded tremendously. So I would like to recognize the in-house trainers who worked with Chambogo and the team from Kenya. Can you please come forward for recognition? And I think you know the team. Mr. Mutaka and your team. And I think you know that in terms of protocol, the chief guest, especially if the chief guest is the honorable minister, cannot turn his head to look behind. So I hope you know that you must stand in front of the chief guest, and the PS is here, and so you know these protocol issues. Don't create a protocol makaba here. Please stand facing the honorable minister. Mr. Mutaka, can you introduce your colleagues? Just the name and then, because we need to recognize you.
Thank you so much, MC. So the team, Madam Honorable Minister, the team of in front of you is the Ugandan team that has led these trainings that we've been having. We are two teams, engineers and the EQA team. So I'll do the introduction of the engineers, and then Patricia will help me do the EQA team. So on the engineering side, we have engineer Brian Nsubuga. You can just wave to the team. We also have engineer Rosa Chom. We have engineer Peter Chambade. And we have Engineer Canalo Bruno, and then Engineer Omar Mubali. Honorable Minister, that is the engineering team that led this training, and all of them are based at the Department of Lab in Butabika. Thank you so much, Madam.
Thank you. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Patricia Kello. I take this honor to introduce the External Quality Assessment Training Team. We have Enoch Wekia, who is a laboratory scientist. We have Mr. Nandala Michael, Andrew Sauteba, and Charles Manyonge. That is the External Quality Assessment Team. Thank you.
Thank you so much, the engineering team and the HU team. I think before you move away, we would like also to again recognize the 4 special people in this country who have been certified at the highest level in biosafety field certifiers by NSF. Brian Isubga, Bruno Canaro, Peter Chambade, and Rosa Chom. Madam, these are some of the very few, not only in the country, but in the region. Uganda has the highest number, 9 trained, 4 certified. I think only competing with Tanzania at the same level of 4. The rest of the countries will come to learn from us with your permission. Thank you so much. You may take your seats. May I now take this opportunity to invite the country director of CDC. And Madam, as you already know, this is the institution that has been behind the part of the transformation of the lab sector in this country. Please join me in welcoming.
Honorable Minister of Health, Dr. Jane, Madam PS. DG Mobesa, who I understand is online, Director of Public Health, Commissioner, Laboratory and Diagnostic Services, Dr. Nabata. Distinguished guests, partners, allow me to stand on existing protocols. It is my absolute honor to join you today at this closing ceremony of the East, Central, and Southern Africa Health Community Regional Training of biomedical and laboratory scientists in equipment maintenance and external quality assurance production. Just about 2 years ago, the U.S. Sub-Saharan Africa strategy was released. The intention was to pursue 4 objectives, one of which is health. The strategy outlined the U.S. plan to build core capacities to prevent, detect, and respond to infectious disease threats around the globe, including addressing health security challenges related to diagnostics and service delivery using an equity lens for a more stable and inclusive Africa. Therefore, it is my absolute pleasure to commemorate this very important day as a symbol of our commitment to the U.S.-Uganda collaboration and cooperation towards an anti-discriminatory, equitable, and inclusive health system for all. First, the leadership, governance, and strategic direction of public health labs plays a crucial role in strengthening the healthcare system. For nearly 3 decades, the U.S. government, through CDC, has been a dedicated partner in strengthening Uganda's nationwide public health systems. More than $6.5 billion in combined U.S. assistance provided through CDC, through USAID, through the Walter Reed Fighting HIV/AIDS has ensured that 1.4 million people living with HIV/AIDS, including the first ever PEPFAR beneficiary from Uganda, are benefiting from life-saving antiretrovirals. But not only this, but more than 100+ laboratory hubs transport specimens to well-equipped Ugandan public health labs so that people can remain virally suppressed. Our health cooperation during COVID, Ebola, malaria, and other infectious disease outbreaks, even Mpox now, is a symbol of that commitment and is one that we certainly cherish. That cooperation and coordination across countries is more important now than ever in a world with increasing disease outbreaks. The US, through CDC, has also promoted Uganda's public health leadership via the Global Laboratory Leadership Program, the Field Epidemiology Training Programs, which have resulted in the next generation of public health leaders, some of whom we saw stand out here today. With a specific focus on enhancing quality management of laboratory services, we've achieved significant milestones in international accreditation for Ugandan labs. Today, an impressive total of more than 80 labs have attained international accreditation and is known worldwide as a symbol of Uganda. UVRI being one, JCRC, CPHL, several veterinary labs across the country. So Uganda's been known now for quality in lab as the norm and not the exception. We've also helped establish and enhance specimen referral networks, communications, information systems for outbreak preparedness and response, modeled after some of the best in the world. So second, aside from leadership and governance, equipment maintenance and EQA is an essential part of healthcare systems and operations. I think it may not be as exciting in its nature, but the fact is, without it, we cannot make accurate diagnoses, which are critical to basic health and emergency or outbreak responses for countries. So this peer-to-peer regional training with 15 countries this week, I understand another 17 next week, and a series of countries, which is the first of its kind, spearheaded by the Ministry of Health for Uganda and for the region, is a major step toward the future that the African continent is yearning for, and this is commendable. Collaboration, communication, positive transcontinental interdependency truly demonstrates Africa at its best. Since 2012, PEPFAR through CDC has supported equipment maintenance in the regions and peripheral laboratories by building capacity of at least 16 regional equipment maintenance workshops across the country. Recognizing the gaps in laboratory equipment maintenance at the time, in 2015, through a collaboration with the American International Health Alliance, we supported the first post-training program, a South-to-South program intended to improve hands-on skills and build the capacity for biomedical technicians and engineers in equipment maintenance. It also included the development of laboratory equipment management guidelines and training curriculum to guide in-service for biomedical technicians and engineers. In 2017, building on these achievements, the US CDC through PEPFAR funded the establishment of the National Equipment Calibration Laboratory, NEC-L, to address the need for equipment calibration in Uganda. And at the time, we believed it was attainable, but I don't know that anybody saw this future at that time. With this, previously outsourced and expensive overseas calibration became localized. And the US government supported the development of that in-country capacity for certifying and maintaining biosafety cabinets with technical expertise from the Eagleson Institute. Then in 2020, we helped NEC-L achieve international accreditation. I think the gentleman, Vice Chancellor Representative, ISO 17025 standards, saving costs and demonstrating a sustainable investment program. And that level of accreditation is actually second to none, sir. NEC-L, now a regional center of excellence, has not only helped locally to respond to outbreaks by certifying biosafety cabinets maintained in the mobile labs but is at the heart of today's event. I believe institutions through the Ministry of Health, like NECO, is a living example of that saying that it always seems impossible until it's done. So in closing, I want to acknowledge the Ministry of Health, the countries and participating, and other partners. The U.S. government through CDC reaffirm our commitment to building safe, effective, and sustainable laboratory systems that protect health and save the lives of all who need it. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Another round of applause. Thank you so much for the journey you have walked with us. We appreciate. May I now invite Dr. Fatim, who is joining us online from Geneva, representing the Global Fund, who are the key partners for this program we are commissioning today. Dr. Fatim.
Hello, good afternoon. Honorable Minister of Health, Dr. Jane Acheng, Madam Permanent Secretary, partners present, including the US CDC, WHO, the Eastern Central Southern Africa, the University of Chambogo, all dignitaries present today, and distinguished guests, trainers, representatives and trainees from the different countries present today. I would like to thank the Ministry of Health for hosting this event, but also Dr. Susan and her team, as well as Ecsa for facilitating these trainings. I am beyond excited and I am beyond happy, to say the least. Thank you so much. And I'll quote from Madam PS. The last time we had the training in Uganda for equipment management, she said, "This is Africa solving Africa's problems." And I wholeheartedly thank the US CDC for really building the foundation for this. Like she said, this was not part of the vision. But I cannot say how excited I am because I also did not see this vision. But as you know, Global Fund as well supports the lab through its core grants, the HIV, TB, malaria grants, but also through the C19 RM grants. The lab has been well supported, and this particular initiative is actually being supported through a grant through the through Ecsa, but we are using the Uganda lab, who has the capacity and is actually the trailblazer in the region on equipment management and maintenance, calibration, but also external quality assurance and production of PT panels. As you all know, in the past few years, countries have been procuring proficiency testing panels to assure the quality of testing from commercially, but we sought to set up and establish such capacity. And again, through the support of US CDC, capacity was established for TB testing at the National TB Reference Lab with Professor Joloba. Global Fund continued this support to date, and we thought to expand also to other testing capacities. And I must tell you, I am really proud of the Uganda team because it was a challenge to them in June 2023 to come up with a PT program for malaria RDT, showing that it was a challenge in the region because malaria RDT testing is done mostly at the community level by non-lab technologists or community health workers, etc. And we needed to assure the quality of malaria testing in the region. Countries were not participating in PT programs because it was either expensive or not attainable. We couldn't couldn't find coordinators of a scheme. But Uganda stood up to the challenge. Within 3 months, they wrote to me and said, "We got it. We have done it." Honestly, I was super excited. Again, like Dr. Susan alluded, they did the pilot in Uganda, and I'm just hearing today that the scheme is now ISO 17043 accredited. I'm really, really proud of Dr. Susan, Dr. Joloba, and the team at the CPHL. And thank you so much, Minister of Health and Permanent Secretary, for always, always being by our side and for supporting us. This is exemplary in the region to have this highest level of support for lab. And we are really appreciative. And thank you so much to the different countries for agreeing to come to Uganda to learn. And also we urge you to go back to your country and implement what you have learned, because this is about implementing, using the funds in your country to strengthen lab systems, not just for COVID as we started, but for pandemics. We currently have an epidemic in the region, and I really applaud Uganda for continuing to support other countries despite the current epidemic. So thank you so much. And on behalf of Global Fund, I would like to again thank the Minister of Health and Dr. Suzanne and her team. Thank you so much, everyone.
Thank you so much, Dr. Fatim. We appreciate working with us all the way and joining us all the way from Geneva. Thank you so much for joining us. Another round of applause for Dr. Fatim. May I now invite the Director General of Ecsa, Aslam, Dr. Andrew Silmesa, who is joining us all the way from Addis Ababa. Dr. Silmesa.
The Honorable Minister of Health for the Ministry of Health in the Republic of Uganda, the Permanent Secretary and your senior officials, the directors present, your excellencies from the various high commissions and embassies accredited to the Republic of Uganda. May I simply ride on the protocols that have been established already and simply say, distinguished invited guests, on behalf of the Director General of the East Central and Southern Africa Health Community, I wish to say that Ecsa is truly delighted to be part of this auspicious event. And I want to take particular recognition of the immense privilege and honor to have this event graced by the Honorable Minister of Health of the Republic of Uganda. Guests of honor, ladies and gentlemen, you may be aware that the East Central and Southern Africa Health Community has been a principal recipient of the Global Fund grants since the year 2015 to date, implementing various Global Fund projects, including the Regional TB Lab Strengthening Project, which is supporting 21 countries, and the COVID-19 Response Mechanism Grant supporting at least 11 countries. I am very delighted to note that we have collaborated with the Ministry of Health Uganda through the Supranational TB Reference Lab in implementing these two important projects. And today we celebrate some of the achievements that have ultimately led to the strengthening of lab systems and networks on the continent. Guests of honor, building on the successes that we have achieved in this partnership, I'm so pleased to state that the Global Fund recently awarded Ecsa a catalytic grant for integrated lab systems strengthening in the sum of $5 million, which again we will implement with the Uganda National Health Laboratory and Diagnostic Services over the next 3 years to support 21 countries across the continent. Suffice to say for now, guest of honor, that we look forward to launching this new project in the next few weeks there in Uganda. And we indeed will be very pleased if you could extend your presence and join us for that event. But for today, Honorable Minister, what brings us together is the peer-to-peer learning initiative, which again is being supported by the Global Fund. And this is an initiative that commenced earlier this year. The peer-to-peer learning initiative is an innovative approach of technical skills and knowledge transfer, which recognizes that we do have various technical capabilities on the African continent, and countries that require strengthening of their lab systems and networks will not always have to look outside the continent to get that expertise. The peer-to-peer learning initiative has therefore created a platform through which some identified countries with particular strengths in specific areas of lab systems provide mentorship to a group of other countries requiring support in those particular areas. And as has been indicated already, we are very proud of what the Uganda National Health Laboratories and Diagnostic Services have already been able to demonstrate in terms of capacity to offer this technical support to various countries across the continent. And in this regard, Uganda was identified to provide mentorship in external quality assurance and equipment maintenance. Allow me to state, guest of honor, that other countries are also participating in this peer-to-peer learning, where we have Rwanda providing mentorship in laboratory information systems, South Africa providing mentorship in wastewater surveillance, and Zimbabwe providing mentorship in integrated sample transportation. Guest of honor, the need to strengthen lab systems and networks cannot be overemphasized, seeing the critical role that labs play in not only patient care and management, but also in surveillance and responding to public health threats. As we know, Honorable Minister, the lab played a very critical role in responding to the COVID-19 pandemic, and we are seeing the same critical role that the lab plays in responding to other pandemics such as Ebola and the current mpox. Guest of honor, I will not be long in my remarks, but before I conclude, may I just wish our participants all the success and best wishes as they go back to their countries to implement the many things that they have learned. I also wish to extend our deep, heartfelt and deep gratitude to the Global Fund for the continued support and investments in strengthening lab systems, and last but not the least, the Ministry of Health Uganda for the excellent collaboration we have shared over the years. And indeed, we look forward to the continuation of this collaboration. Guests of honor, ladies and gentlemen, I thank you for your attention.
Much, Dr. Andrew, representing the director of Ecsa, for joining us all the way from Addis Ababa. Thank you so much for the great work that you are doing with us, strengthening the laboratory, not only in Uganda, but across the continent now. Madam Chief Guest, I would like to recognize, today is a day of celebrating partners, so I would like to recognize representative of the ED Ugandas from the Ministry of Trade and the entire team. Can you please, I hope you remember what I said, but thank you so much for coming, and we appreciate what the Deputy Vice Chancellor has said about improving our own systems for certification. May I now take this privilege to invite the representative of the country director of WHO to come and make a few remarks as we draw towards the beginning of the conclusion of today's program. Kindly join me in welcoming the representative of WHO.
Our chief guest, the Honorable Minister of Health, the Permanent Secretary, the Excellencies, Ambassador, and Southern Africa Health Community Regional Training on Equipment, Maintenance, and Panel Production. This initiative has brought together participants from different countries across the region, reflecting our shared commitment to strengthen laboratory systems. First, we'd like to extend our gratitude to the Ministry of Health, Ecsa, and all partners for organizing this essential training. The participation from so many countries demonstrates our collective dedication to building robust and sustainable laboratory systems that are critical to public health security. The World Health Organization recognizes that reliable and well-functioning laboratory services are essential to achieving universal health coverage and responding effectively to public health emergencies. Both globally and across Africa, WHO has worked closely with governments, regional bodies, and stakeholders to ensure that laboratory systems are equipped not only to handle routine diagnostic services, but also respond to emerging and re-emerging health threats. Well-maintained equipment is at the heart of laboratory services. Without functional and properly calibrated equipment, our ability to fight diseases becomes increasingly difficult. Therefore, the importance of sustainable equipment maintenance cannot be overstated, as laboratory infrastructure is the backbone of any health system. WHO has continuously supported efforts in the region by building capacity to maintain and calibrate laboratory equipment. This support ensures that laboratories can sustainably deliver diagnostic services and remain resilient in the face of health challenges. Through WHO's Regional Office of Africa, which we call AFRO, we have provided technical assistance and resources to countries like Kenya, Ethiopia, and Uganda. Programs like the stepwise laboratory quality improvement process towards accreditation have strengthened laboratory systems across Africa, including training on the maintenance of key diagnostic equipment. Globally, WHO has fostered similar efforts through initiatives such as the Global Polio Laboratory Network, the Global Influenza Surveillance and Response System, where WHO has led trainings, workshops, and the calibration and preventive maintenance of equipment. In addition, WHO collaborating centers and supported reference laboratories have been pivotal in offering regional training programs for laboratory equipment calibration and repair. These efforts have contributed to the sustainability and reliability of diagnostic services, ensuring that laboratories across Africa and beyond remain fully functional and equipped to handle public health emergencies. Also, through our quality assurance programs, WHO has provided support to improve the accuracy, reliability, and timeliness of laboratory results. External quality assurance processes help ensure that laboratories consistently produce results that can be trusted. The World Health Organization has developed and promoted guidelines, protocols, and standard operating procedures that align with international standards, ensuring that laboratories across the region meet the highest benchmarks for quality. WHO's partnerships with the Ministry of Health in Uganda and other countries has included the establishment and participation in EQA programs, which provide laboratories with the tools to continuously monitor and improve the quality of their services. These programs are instrumental in ensuring the accuracy of diagnosis and reliability of public health responses. Currently, WHO is supporting some EQA programs in Uganda, specifically in partnership with the Uganda Virus Research Institute and the National Health Laboratory and Diagnostic Services. These programs ensure laboratories meet international quality standards in diagnosing diseases. Within the region, WHO collaborates with the African Society for Laboratory Medicine and CDC to promote laboratory accreditation in Africa. This includes supporting EQA programs, regional proficiency testing, and quality assurance programs that focus on capacity building, laboratory audits, and certification. Therefore, this training is really key, and it's really timely and essential for building the capacities of our national and regional health systems to provide high-quality laboratory services. The establishment of a skilled workforce equipped with knowledge and tools to maintain essential laboratory equipment and implement EQA processes is critical in ensuring that our laboratories remain functional, accurate, and resilient. To our participants, we commend your dedication and hard work throughout this training. The skills and knowledge you have acquired will go a long way in strengthening laboratory systems in the region, and your role in shaping the future of laboratory across the region is invaluable. We request that we continue to network, share experiences and best practices. And as WHO, we remain a committed partner in supporting efforts in enhancing laboratory systems, improve the quality of care, protect the health and well-being of our population, and together will advance our health security, ensure effective disease detection and surveillance, strengthen the laboratory capacity to respond to future health threats. Thank you very much, and congratulations to the participants.
Merci beaucoup, asante sana, thank you very much. WHO representative, I wish to invite the police band for a brief interlude. Thank you very much.
Obrigado. I've seen one Portuguese word which is obrigado to mean thank you. No, Siboko is French, Asante Sana is Swahili. I wish to take this opportunity to recognize the representative of the medical director in Uganda, Mrs. Margaret Toshaba. Welcome, thank you for being with us today. We are going to carry on with our program, and I wish to invite remarks from the representative of the Director of Human Health Services.
Wanje ngulaba mweri
Our dear the Chief Guest, Honorable Minister for Health, our dear Minister of Health, Your Excellencies, the Ambassador, the High Commissioners, the Director, Ecsa, and representatives, allow me to stand on the protocol already mentioned earlier for the sake of time. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. I want to welcome you here on behalf of the Director General of Ecsa to this very important function, and I want to thank you for committing time to come and attend this function. It's with pleasure to be here to witness the closure of the ECSA peer-to-peer laboratory training on equipping and maintenance of quality assurance with the emphasis of external quality assurance and of production. It is with pleasure that I get this opportunity to address you today on the issue of critical importance of medical equipment maintenance and calibration towards improving quality systems. As many of you are aware, the calibration of equipment towards improving is a critical step in the significant challenges still awaiting the developing country. The limited number of skilled professionals capable of servicing and calibrating our medical services has had a direct impact on the quality of healthcare that we provide. Medical equipment is the backbone to modern healthcare. It plays a vital role in diagnosis, treatment, and patient care. However, without regular maintenance and precise and precision calibration, even most advanced equipment can fail to deliver accurate results, compromising patient safety and effectiveness of our health services. For many years, we have grappled with these challenges due to scarcity of skilled personnel in this specialized field. Historically, the maintenance of general medical equipment has been managed effectively through our regional workshops. These workshops have played a significant role to ensure that our medical services remain critical and accurate in supporting and delivering the essential health services across Uganda. We want to thank all our partners and the people who have been supporting us. However, despite all the successes that have been mentioned by our colleagues, we still have gaps within as a country. As we celebrate these successes, we are keenly aware of the challenges that remain. One of the most significant gaps in the capacity and the maintenance of the heating, ventilation, and air condition system for biosafety level 3 ESL laboratories. These systems are critical for maintaining the safety and functionality of high containment laboratories, which are essential for handling dangerous pathogens and conducting vital research. The maintenance of these systems is complex tasks and requires specialized knowledge and skills. Currently, there is a significant shortage of expertise in this area, not just in Uganda, but across Africa continent. Recognizing this, we have set our sight on developing the National Equipment Calibration Lab's capacity to address the critical needs. Our goals are to establish Uganda as a leader in the field, capable of supporting ELC level labs, not only within our borders, but throughout the region. So in conclusion, we would love to express our deep appreciation to the leadership of the National Health Laboratories for their vision and hard work in setting the National Equipment Collaboration Center.
Your efforts have transformed NEC into a center of excellence that is not only a source of national pride, but also a beacon of hope and support for the entire region. Dr. Mwebesa wishes to express his deep appreciation to the country CDC Global Fund together with other partners that have supported us in building a resilient laboratory system. In addition, with all our other partners that we've been mentioned. As we look to the future, the Ministry of Health remains committed further strengthening our capacity for equipment maintenance and collaboration. We continue to invest in training and development, ensuring that our health facilities are equipped with the best tools and the best people to use them. Together, we are building a strong, more resilient laboratory health system for Uganda, one that can provide the highest quality of care to all the citizens, and that serves a model for other countries in the region. We want to welcome all our colleagues from other countries. Karibu, you are welcome to Uganda. Thank you very much for God and my country.
Merci beaucoup, Monsieur le Directeur de la Santé en Uganda. We are going to have a representation from the trainees, and we'll begin with the representative of the French speakers. Bienvenue pour parler à tous, Monsieur. With your translator, the translator should come here. I'm told there are translators here. Merci à vous.
Excellence, Madame le ministre de la Santé.
The Honorable Minister of Health.
Chers partenaires, Fonds mondial, Africa CDC, Ecsa.
Partners, World Global Fund, Africa CDC.
ASLM, pour ne citer que ceux-ci.
Quoi?
ASLM.
ASLM.
Chères autorités administratives et religieuses en vos rangs et titres respectifs.
Religious leaders and others in your respective capacities.
Chers confrères et invités.
Invited guests.
Je m'appelle Fodjan Bakob Romaric.
Fodjamba Brumaric, that's my
ingénieur
name.
biomédical,
Medical engineer,
participant à la formation sur la maintenance et la calibration des équipements,
participant in this training of maintenance and calibration of equipment,
venant du Cameroun.
Coming from Cameroon.
C'est un grand honneur pour moi
It was a great honor for me
de prendre la parole cette matinée
to speak this morning
devant cette auguste assemblée.
In front of this August assembly.
Donc, on porte-parole des participants à la formation.
And as a spokesperson of these trainees.
Qui a commencé il y a de cela plus d'une semaine.
Which started more than a week ago.
Au sein du laboratoire national de santé de l'Ouganda.
And in the national health, in the Institute of.
Laboratoire national.
Oh, national laboratory.
Madame le ministre. Permettez-moi tout d'abord de vous remercier.
Honorable Minister, thank you first of all I would like to thank you first of all.
Pour avoir accepté d'accueillir les frères d'Afrique dans ce beau pays qu'est l'Ouganda.
For having accepted these brothers from Africa in this beautiful country of Uganda.
En effet, mes confrères et moi-même.
And also with my compatriots and myself.
Avons été très chaleureusement accueillis en terre ougandaise.
We were very well welcomed in Uganda.
La perle d'Afrique.
The pearl of Africa.
Nous continuons de profiter de l'hospitalité légendaire.
We continue to benefit from this hospitality of Uganda.
De la population de Kampala.
From the population of Kampala.
Et de profiter de cette belle ville.
And also this beautiful city.
Notre gratitude va également à l'endroit.
Pardon?
Notre gratitude va également à l'endroit.
Our gratitude also continues.
Du Fonds mondial.
To the World. That is the Global Fund.
Africa CDC et de Ecsa.
Africa CDC and Ecsa.
Qui ont initié cette formation.
Which initiated this training.
Entre pairs en Afrique.
In Africa.
Le partage d'expériences de cette dizaine de jours.
The sharing of experiences in these 10 days that we've been here.
Nous a permis de comprendre que cette initiative.
Has made us understand that this initiative.
reste à pérenniser pour le développement de notre cher continent.
Is aimed appropriate to faire quoi?
Reste à pérenniser.
Oh, okay. It is going to make durable
Pour le développement de notre cher continent en matière de la santé.
the development of health within our continent.
À travers la bonne santé de nos plateaux techniques.
And through good practices of health.
Permettez, Excellence, Madame le Ministre,
allow me, Honorable Minister,
que nous puissions également témoigner toute notre gratitude
that we can testify all our gratitude
à l'endroit de vos collaborateurs
for your collaborators
qui, depuis le premier jour où nous sommes arrivés au laboratoire,
who, from the first day when we arrived at the laboratory,
ont pris toutes les dispositions pour que notre formation se passe dans de très bonnes conditions.
has taken everything possible so that our training has taken place in very good conditions.
Nous ne saurons ne pas remercier personnellement
I would like to thank personally
Monsieur Abdul et toute son équipe,
and all his team,
et ingénieur Rose,
and
Brian,
Rose,
Umar, Emma et Bruno,
and Bruno,
qui au travers beaucoup de professionnalisme
who showed a lot of professionalism
et de pédagogie
in teaching,
nous ont transmis l'amour de la calibration et de la maintenance des équipements de laboratoire.
Have given us love to do calibration in laboratories.
En effet,
indeed,
alors que la majorité d'entre nous avaient, à notre arrivée, très peu de connaissances sur les notions de calibration,
whereas the majority of us, by the time we arrived, we had very little knowledge on matters of calibration.
nous repartons aujourd'hui formés et outillés
We are living this time when we are trained and tooled
et prêts à pouvoir reproduire dans nos pays respectifs les connaissances apprises ici.
and ready to restitute or give the knowledge in our countries which we have got from here.
Ici à Kampala, en Ouganda. Merci
From here
beaucoup.
in Kampala and Uganda, thank you very much.
Nous ne saurons clôturer notre propos
I wouldn't have closed this saying this
sans remercier une fois de plus
without thanking once
le
again
ministère de la Santé de la
the
République d'Ouganda
Minister of Health for the Republic of Uganda
à travers le Laboratoire national de santé publique
through the National Health Laboratory
ainsi que les partenaires le Fonds mondial africain
as well
CDC,
as
Ecsa,
partners of Global Fund CDC and Ecsa,
tout en les encourageant à poursuivre cette
by
initiative
encouraging them to pursue this initiative
dans nos pays
in
respectifs
our respective countries
et d'en faire bénéficier aux autres pays qui n'en ont pas encore bénéficié.
and to make other countries that do not have this to be able to benefit from it.
Vive la coopération sud-sud.
Long live cooperation
Vive l'Afrique.
South-South. Long live
Je vous
Africa.
remercie pour votre aimable
I
attention.
thank you for your lovely attention.
Applaudissez, a round of applause, Makofi. I wish to invite the Portuguese representative, Boas Vidas, Uganda. Obrigado.
Senhora Ministra da Saúde de Uganda,
Honorable Minister of Health in Uganda,
Senhora Secretária Permanente,
Madam Secretary, Permanent Secretary,
senhores representantes
all the
dos
representatives
diversos governos da África aqui representados,
and distinguished governments here,
senhores parceiros de cooperação,
the partners of cooperation.
Agradecer esta oportunidade
I'd love to thank this opportunity
que nós tivemos
that we had
para vir participar
to participate
nesta formação de manutenção e calibração de equipamento laboratorial.
in this training of calibration.
Dizer que foi uma experiência muito boa
I'd like to say that this was a great experience,
e vou levar essa experiência aqui do Uganda para Moçambique.
and I'm going to take this experience to Mozambique.
O trabalho não termina aqui
The work is not done yet,
e vou também expandir
And
e
I'm
formar alguns técnicos também moçambicanos.
and I'm also going to expand and train some Mozambicans.
Agradecer à equipe de formação.
I would like to thank the training team.
E fiquei muito maravilhado porque o gênero também está lá representado.
And I was also delighted because the gender is also represented there.
E queria dizer mais que a área de manutenção de equipamento é pouco complexo.
And I would also like to say that this area of maintenance of equipment is really expanded.
Os nossos governos têm feito grandes investimentos e é muito dinheiro.
Our governments have really funded this, and it's some big money.
Então é muito importante termos essas formações.
And so it's very important to have these trainings.
As tecnologias sempre evoluem.
So the technologies are always developing.
Então queria pedir à senhora ministra que não seja o último
So
treino aqui no Uganda.
So I would like to ask the Honorable Minister that this can't be like the last training in Uganda.
Queremos mais formações.
We want more trainings.
E aos meus colegas
and
que estiveram comigo,
to my colleagues that were with me,
é importante mantermos a interação.
It's important to keep the connection.
Porque não é só cada chegar no seu país e só ver o país dele.
And it's not only important for us to be separated, anyone going to their countries and just stay there. We should keep the connection.
É importante mantermos uma interação. As tecnologias permitem isso.
It's important to keep the interactions. The technologies, they allow us to do that.
E dizer muito obrigado a todos.
And to say thank you very much, everyone.
Obrigado. Let's clap if we mean to clap. I wish to invite the Dean of the African Ambassadors, Your Excellency, the High Commissioner of South Africa. You're welcome.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, Program Director. I'm fine. I'm okay. I just wanted to inform the Minister Program Director that I am ambushed. I'm the only one who has no speech here. Honorable Minister and the Permanent Secretary for the Ministry of Health, my colleagues, representatives from various African embassies, our religious leaders, the engineers, scientists, trainers, representative of the Vice Chancellor, Shamboko University, all our trainees who are here with us. I want first of all to say on behalf of the African ambassadors accredited to the Republic of Uganda, I want to thank the organizers for inviting us from various countries to witness this important and historic event in Uganda. Minister, Uganda has always led in the area of health. I remember when we were going through the HIV pandemic in the 1990s and early 2000s, Uganda was leading even then. Although we did not have a vaccine or a cure, but Uganda did very well. Many of our countries came to Uganda to learn from your experience. And when I came here 2020, we were still experiencing the COVID pandemic, It was actually during the height of the pandemic. And again, Uganda was doing very well. In our countries, we were expected to report what are the statistics in Uganda, how well are they doing, and every time we get the statistics from the ministry and we check with WHO, everything was on par. WHO assured us that the Ministry of Health is doing very well. This is why when my president came in January, I introduced the minister to my president and said, this is the best Minister of Health we have on the continent. So, and you'll remember during COVID, Africa and poor countries, we were not even given the vaccines when they were first introduced. The rich countries were keeping these vaccines for themselves. And they were waiting for us to drop in the streets, to die, because we are poor and we don't have the facilities that are recognized. I am very happy to hear that now we have ISO recognized laboratories, and we are now in control of these diseases. We have been able to produce our vaccines, and we are working with each other on the African continent to ensure that we take control. As Dr. Fatima said from Global Fund, this is a great example of Africa solving African problems. I also want to say that I was very happy to hear from the trainees, one of the trainees, that when they go back home, they are going to train other colleagues to ensure that they acquire the skills and technology that you have acquired in Uganda. I want also to congratulate the Shambogo University for a great job, well done. Now this training that started, I'm told, 2006, almost 20 years ago, has now been upgraded to diplomas and bachelor degrees, so that when you go home, you didn't just come here for tourism of the beautiful Pearl of Africa. You came here, you acquired skills, you are able to go back home with a paper that you will show to your government and to your people that now you are an expert in this area. I therefore want to thank, first of all, the government of Uganda for hosting all our countries, African countries, and running this important program for East Africa, Central and Southern Africa, peer-to-peer lab training. I hope also that they will continue and invite more countries to participate in this important program. I also want to thank the minister for making sure that she's hands-on with her team and ensure that the facilities are ready and also our trainees receive the necessary skills. I was happy to see engineers and scientists and the trainers that are here, and also the university that has done, that has partnered with the ministry in this important work. Lastly, I also want to thank the funders, Global Fund especially, that has traveled with us as Africans from the HIV pandemic, TB, malaria, and now COVID, and mpox. I hope that they will continue the good work to ensure that Africa is free of disease and poverty. Lastly, I want to congratulate the trainees and again encourage you to go back home and implement what you have learned from Uganda. And to the Minister and the PS, thank you very much for being pioneers in Africa. And we want to say to you, in my language, we say, Ningadinwa nangomso. Don't get tired even tomorrow, because we're coming again. Thank you very much.
Your Excellency, thank you very much. I will be forgiven because it was a fantastic unwritten speech. Allow me to recognize the presence of our Director Curative Services, Dr. Charles Oraro. You're welcome. Yeah, without wasting time, allow me invite our Permanent Secretary, Dr. Diana Twine, who will in turn invite our chief guest. Thank you.
Honorable Minister of Health, Your Excellency, the ambassadors, the representative of the different UN agencies, institutions represented here, allow me again to stand on the protocol. I am not going to read the speech. I think we've had quite a number of the speeches today, but just allow me to say 5 things. First is to congratulate the trainees, the outgoing trainees, and I want also to congratulate the incoming trainees for having successfully been selected by your respective countries to participate in this important work. I also want to congratulate our teams in the country, our teams from the labs, from the institutions like Chambogo, the trainers. We want to congratulate you for the milestones that you have achieved. These are not really simple achievements. We want really to appreciate the leadership of the laboratory led by Susan and your team to start EQA panel development. This is a very, very important milestone for us because it signifies that we are in the right direction to attain quality services. And so, but also it cuts down on the cost because we would always get these panels outside. So to have in-country capacity is a very fundamental milestone. So I want to congratulate you. We want to congratulate you also to have WHO accredited curriculum on the continent. And so this, for us, this is an engine for us to implement better training, but also knowing that when you train, when you come here and get trained, no one will question your papers. You will have had the best training. So really we want to congratulate the lab. We want also to congratulate you for attaining or obtaining ISO certification. We know what it took you to get there. We know that teams that worked day and night to make sure that we got there. It doesn't just come just on a silver plate. We know that there was behind curtains hard work. So we really want to thank you. We want to, the participants, the next thing I just want to talk about is the participants. What we have attained is just the foundation. I want you to believe that because Africa still has the biggest burden of disease, it is upon us, we here on this continent, to work towards attaining the best standards for our services, for our people, for our circumstances. The partners will come and support us, but I want to tell you that these milestones to get to benefit the common person in Africa will depend on us. We shall get support, we shall get partners, but I want to tell you that the person who is to benefit the services in our lab services in our respective countries will largely depend on us. And so we know that what you have attained as the training that you have attained, it should not be just to appear on your CV, just like that. It should be to make you or to give you an impetus to do more when you go back. Build a team around you, form a critical mass, transform the laboratory services, aim to make sure that you have the milestones in your country that will not only just have the accreditations and all these things, nice fancy words we are talking about, but it will translate to better services, translate to quality and cost cutting in your country, that you don't depend on foreigners to come and do everything for you. Please work, just make sure that you set that as your milestone, your target, your goal, your mission, that when you go back, don't just get comfortable because you have attained some training, but make sure that that training translates into better results in the services. The in-country capacity that we have developed has cut the costs. I remember at one time I would wait for a team to come either from South Africa or from other countries to come and do even the calibration, equipment calibration. And that would cost us in terms of lives, because if you don't have good turnaround time for results, it affects on the quality of services. It would also cause resources being drained out because we would pay for those service providers. But now we are seeing this improving on the turnaround time, improving on the capacity. I was very happy to see the 4 engineers here who have been accredited to the highest level, because now we don't need to go outside to look for them. So that whole thing translates into quality services. Whatever we are doing, whatever improvement, whatever plans, whatever strategies we have, it should target that common person who will walk into our labs and want to see the lab results equivalent to the one of other developed countries. And this is our dream. And please maintain that dream and run with it and fulfill it. Lastly, I want to thank Chambogo. Chambogo, we want to thank you so much for responding to our call. And when we signed this MOU, our anticipation was that we are going to actually engage more. I'm sorry I have not reached out, although this has been on our agenda for a long time. We wanted to engage you more so that our regional centers, our regional workshops are fully functional. This is our ultimate goal. And how do we functionalize them? We wanted to see how you have your students, and we have a program of rotational so that they get hands-on, because also we have seen some engineers finish, and when they come, because machines keep on changing, we get new technology, new software, everything keeps on changing. And so we want them to continue being at the same level as the equipment that we are having in our facilities. And we thought that that rotation would help us to continue, your students, and I'm happy to hear that you are able to facilitate the students to go outside. We actually want to make it formal, the formal engagement, so that we do not need to do it as just ad hoc. We want to see how, and I think in the MOU we did not articulate that component, but we wanted to see how our regional centers, you can get, for example, rotation. You know, like we in medicine, people rotate on wards. They do, some work. So those hands-on, it may not be sufficient. The equipment you have in Chambogo workshop may not be enough, because we keep on getting new equipment. And we want your engineers to get updated training on the newer equipment. We wanted actually to talk to you about when we are buying new equipment and we are installing and we are doing some training, your trainers need to be part of that team, so that even when you are training your engineers in your curriculum, in your universities, they know exactly what is up to date. And I think this is something that we are going to follow and fulfill. And we are very excited, because we do know that we do not have enough human resource in our hospitals. But we want to tap into the skills that you have in the academia to strengthen our centers, our biomedical centers, especially the regional centers. We want to thank you very much, and I want to again thank everyone who supported us, especially the partners, Global Fund, CDC, Africa CDC, SLM, Ecsa. We want really to thank everybody who participated, and that really tells us the confidence, the partner confidence that they have developed in Uganda, because otherwise they would have taken this kind of support to another place. But we have developed this, and therefore that's why we are attracting partners to invest more in our capacity, so that we are able to help our sister countries. Thank you very much, and allow me to invite Honorable Minister to make her remarks. Thank you very much.
Your Excellencies, the ambassadors and high commissioners present, the permanent secretary, the Director General Health Services, representative of Vice Chancellor Chambogo University, the patron of biomedical engineers, Mission Director CDC, the Director General Ecsa, representative from WHO, representative from Global Fund, representative from African Society of Laboratory Medicine, directors present, participants from all the Ecsa member states, the Deputy Mufti, Sheikh Waswa, Bishop Francis Gogo, Ministry of Health staff, the trainers and the trainees, the media, ladies and gentlemen. Allow me to warmly welcome all of you to this very important function, and I thank you for committing time to come and attend this function on this very hot day. It is my pleasure to be here to officiate the closure of the Ecsa peer-to-peer laboratory training on equipment maintenance and quality assurance, with emphasis on external quality assurance panel production. Strengthening of equipment maintenance and the production of proficiency testing, PT, that's what I will be referring to from now on. Panels for quality assurance in diagnostics are not only vital for the accuracy of our healthcare services, but also essential for our preparedness and response to public health emergencies. As many of you are aware, Uganda has faced more than 20 outbreaks in the last 5 years alone. Despite these challenges, we have managed consistently and accurately to identify the etiology of these outbreaks within 48 to 72 hours. This remarkable achievement, thank you. This remarkable achievement is a testament to the robust integrated quality assurance program that we have developed and implemented across our health system. I want to underscore the fact that Uganda's integrated external quality assessment scheme has been accredited under the ISO 17043. This accreditation is a significant milestone, demonstrating our commitment to maintaining the highest standards of quality in our diagnostic services. It is also a recognition of the hard work, as the PS indicated, and dedication of our health professionals who strive every day to ensure that our laboratories deliver accurate and reliable results. I want to appeal to you, the team from the laboratory, that you need to come out and make a very strong statement to the population of Uganda on the issue of typhoid and brucellosis. And I'm repeating it again because our population are being fleeced of money, and you are ending up with antimicrobial resistance because we are treating what is not right. And I hope you do it as soon as possible. I am happy to mention that our vision extends beyond our national borders. We believe that quality assurance in diagnostics should not be confined to one's country alone. That is why we are committed to extending our capacity and expertise to the region. Our goal is to enable more countries to provide proficiency testing within their own networks and to support them in attaining ISO 17043 accreditation. And I was extremely excited to hear from the representatives of the trainees that that is what they intend to do. The Uganda National Health Laboratory and Diagnostic Services plays a central role in this regional effort. Through the supranational TB Reference Laboratory Network, the National Health Laboratory and Diagnostic Services supports more than 21 countries in sub-Saharan Africa on quality assurance and accreditation. That is not a small thing. We want to say a big thank you to you. This network has been instrumental in building capacity, sharing best practices, and ensuring that diagnostic services across the region meet international standards. Our approach to regional capacity building is rooted in collaboration and partnerships. And you have heard the number of partners who have spoken here today. I'm not going to repeat their names. We believe that the most effective way to strengthen our collective capabilities is through a peer-to-peer approach. This means that countries in the region can learn from each other, share their experiences, and support one another in their efforts to improve diagnostic quality and reliability. This also means that Uganda will also be visiting your countries to learn some of the best practices that you have there. To this end, We are working closely with regional bodies such as the East Central and South African Health Community, Ecsa, and the African Society for Laboratory Medicine, ASLAM, and WHO, AFRO. These organizations have played a crucial role in coordinating capacity building activities across the region, and we are proud that the National Health Laboratory and Diagnostic Services serves as a technical lead in these initiatives. The regional engagement we are fostering is focused on two key areas: equipment maintenance and preparation of PT panels, as you have heard. By strengthening these areas, we can ensure that our laboratories are not only equipped with the necessary tools, but also have the capacity to maintain them and produce the high quality PT panels needed for ongoing quality assurance. Equipment maintenance is essential to the functionality and accuracy of our diagnostic tools. Without proper maintenance, even the most advanced equipment can fail to deliver reliable results. By building regional capacity in this area, we are ensuring that our laboratories can continue to provide high-quality diagnostic services, even in the face of new and emerging health challenges. Many of you are aware that Africa is the epicenter of these new and emerging health services. So we need to be extremely ready at all times. Right now we are faced with the monkeypox outbreak, and its impact will be felt majorly in Africa. And so we need to work together to ensure that we bring this outbreak to an end. Similarly, the production of the PT panels is crucial for ensuring that laboratories across the region can consistently meet the required standards. By developing the capacity to produce these panels locally, we are reducing our reliance on external suppliers and ensuring that we can respond quickly and effectively to any public health emergency. Besides this specific capacity on equipment maintenance and PT panel production, there has been good progress in the quality management system of the laboratories. So allow me to say a big congratulations to all those who have completed their training and those who are coming in. I would also like, in a special way, to thank our partners on this program, including the Ecsa Health Community, the African Society for Laboratory Medicine, CDC, Global Fund, and the National Health Laboratory and Diagnostic Services for their commitment to strengthen the health systems in our region. Please remember what the Permanent Secretary said here. The support will come, but the implementation, the achievements, and the results depend on us. I also extend my appreciation to respective country governments for allowing you to come and get the expertise, and it is my hope that you go back and utilize the skills gained to improve your health system back home. Your dedication and collaboration are making a real difference in the lives of millions of people in Africa. Together, we are building a stronger and more resilient health system that can meet the challenges of today and tomorrow. We are committed to hosting more trainings for the continent. I heard from one of the representatives that this should not be the last, since the equipments change all the time. New ones will be coming in, more training will be required, but I would also like to say that you should also develop your capacity so that you can do it in country. I thank you all for listening to me, and I want to thank all the countries that have participated, the ambassadors who have been here this hot afternoon, the trainers, our religious leaders. Thank you very much for God and my country.
Can we give another round of applause for the Honorable? I think the indication is that she's ready to go to this process. So I will now invite our Permanent Secretary, Dr. Diana Atwini, and the Director. Those managing this process, please ensure. And then we would like to ensure that when you get your certificate, you will be guided by protocol. We want to thank the Foreign Affairs Ministry for providing protocol services today. And I think you see it has worked out very well for us. So we are going to read your name. Just come, all participants who are receiving certificates. You will be coming from this side. Please guide them. You will receive your certificate from the Honorable Minister. You will go in front where the photos will be taken. The Minister will find you already set. So the following, please move, and this will be the order, but start moving. We have Gail Fabrice Book from Cameroon. This is for equipment maintenance and calibration. Romaric Fodia Mbakopu, Cameroon. Marianne Mohamud from Cameroon. Ali Kulibale, Mali. Karabazon Munkoro, Mali. Hassan Jida Alugon, Nigeria. Daniel Osarenkor Obasek, Nigeria. Emamuzu Magdalene Onovo, Nigeria. Ata Carlos Egono Simben, Mozambique. Follow that order, please. I am not. Follow that order, please. Fabrice Book. Romaric Fodia.
Mamuz. Thank you. Carlos Simbine. Nuarisharam Janet. Aleo Kulbal. Sorry, you forgive me. Karabazon. Mariam. Yeah. Mariam. Gael Fabrice Book. Romaric. Romaric. This is okay. Margaret Shikasha. Negash. Negash to the Negash. Likno. and Abebe as you follow. Nikno. Abebe. Francis William Said. Eva Richard. Jacob. Eva. Jacob. Mwendabai. Naturinda Joan. Naturinda Joan. Doreen Mainza. Rufaro. Doreen. Rufaro. And Hawela Belden. Hawela. Hawela. Yes, yes. Hassan. Yes, Hassan.
Thank you so much, Madam Chief Guest, and PS, and directors, and commissioner. We have awarded certificates to the group of 20 for both groups, each APT production, and equipment maintenance and calibration. We are now coming to the end of the function. I would request we take our seats. We are going to have the anthems. After the anthems, we will have group photos for the people who have gotten certificates first, then followed by the team that has been commissioned coming next. Then we'll have the excellences, high commissioners and ambassadors taking a photo. And after that, they have been invited for lunch in the minister's boardroom. I mean the high commissioners, ambassadors, and religious leaders. The rest of us esteemed guests, ladies and gentlemen, we will have our lunch in all of places that the ministry have been allocated to us by the PS. So we will be free to sit anywhere. May I now request the Uganda Police for the anthems. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, our Honorable Chief Guest, for gracing the occasion. Those taking photos, please organize yourself. I request the protocol team to do the needful. The Chief Guest will be accompanied by